The book is dedicated to all canines in the military, police department, and other departments, keeping us safe from evil. May God always look over them with protection and love. The traffic is horrible, Jackie Lee. I'm pulling off up there, Casey Lee told me, taking her eyes off the road for a minute to look over at me. We were in a traffic jam, like no one wanted to be in without a motorhome, if you know what I mean. Casey Lane moved the RV over to the side of the road, and we inched our way to the turnoff. Pulling into Moses Lake, we grabbed the first campsite we came across. It was full. She hurriedly pulled out, and we tried another one on the other end of town. There was still space, so Casey paid for 2 nights. We needed some shut-eye after our adventure. I sure missed Kanani, but I really missed Gunther, Sophia, and Kanani's dragon. Yes, a real dragon, but that's another story. Casey eased our new motorhome into the slot and hooked up our utilities. She pulled out the grill and threw some steaks on it for herself, and moi! Yes, me, Jackie Lee! We finished our dinner. I was relaxing outside beside Casey on her camp chair. I was thinking about our last adventure. I'm a red and black, long-coated German Shepherd dog, and Casey is my partner. She's really pretty. She's slender, has long blonde hair that she usually braids, and she has the best personality, and I love her. We have our own detective agency and go everywhere together. We recently landed in Seattle from Luxembourg without too much ado. Casey called me a macho German Shepherd because, you see, I always insist on wearing my body armor. You never know when it's needed. Casey bought an RV so we could drive to Montana and see her boyfriend. He moved away while we were on our last long mission. Jackie Lee, do you want to go on a walk? We can cruise around and check out the other campers. Woof! I wagged my tail. A walk? Yes! You had better believe I would love that. Casey was impelled to grab my leash. It embarrassed me to have it on, so as soon as she did, I grabbed it and carried it in my mouth. She was shaking her head because I was still wearing my body armor. We greeted a few people, and they all agreed the traffic jam was horrible. I heard there was a fire and they closed the road, one guy said. I certainly hope not. We made it to the end of the campsite, where a horrible commotion was going on, and I heard a dog whimpering. I heard it first and dropped the leash out of my mouth, running over to attack the perp attacking the German Shepherd. I made a leap and jumped on the guy, knocking him over. I grabbed his arm that was holding the club and started growling at him. He whimpered, but it only made me feel good after what he had just done. Casey Lee showed up. Jackie Lee, hold him, boy. I'm calling 911. She pulled out her phone and dialed. I saw the poor German Shepherd limping around and crying. Another man came running over with a baseball bat. I heard this poor dog crying and the man beating him, telling him he was going to kill him. This poor dog has been tied up inside that motorhome for over 14 hours. The man said. He turned away from us and opened the door to the camper. I was still pinning the guy to the ground. There's no water or food in here, and the poor dog messed everywhere. He too grabbed his cell phone and called 911. Casey ran over to the dog. Come here, boy, she called. He crawled over to her and whimpered. He was hot, thin, and his coat was matted with blood all over. Casey looked like her heart was broken. Just a minute, boy. She left him and ran over to an outside drink station. Anyone have a bowl? She called out. Here's one. A lady ran over and gave it to her. Thanks, she said. Do you need any help? The lady asked. Yes, I need towels and more water. I'm Casey, and that's my boy Jackie Lee. Casey pointed over at me. I'm Sarah. I'll be right back. That poor dog, she said as she ran off to grab supplies. Casey took the water back over to the poor dog, and he started gulping the water. No one could have made him slow down. He was so thirsty. Casey said he looked dehydrated. He was dehydrated. I was sure of it. The man came over and relieved me of my duty, saying his name was Sidney, telling me I was a good boy. He tied the man's hands to his ankles. The police arrived. Sydney and Casey told them what had happened. The police hauled the guy away.